Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Chibuzo. So, welcome to the final day, the grand finale of our Decemp at 2 anniversary. I know it's been an amazing week for all of us that are here. We have learned so many things so far.
I think you are struggling with your network today.
Can you hear me? Hi, Doc. Can you hear me?
I see that Chubuza is struggling with his network. I can't hear Chubuza. Is he talking?
Guys, if you can hear me, please let me know on the chat box because I'm speaking, but I'm not sure anyone.
Can somebody else say something apart from Chibuza? I don't hear him. Jerry, I've just asked you to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, Doc, I can hear you. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Hi, Doc.
Okay,
I'm
thank
back.
you.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so I would start sharing my screen and you can open the meeting, okay?
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much, Doc. Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Chico. I welcome you all to our grand finale of our Decemp at 2 anniversary. Please, if you can hear me, please put a thumbs up on the chat box so we can know that we are communicating. I know that everyone has had an amazing section right from the first day that we started this celebration till today, which is the last day. We had several speakers who had come around and given us several amazing insights, knowledge, experience, and whatnot concerning how to grow, how to build, and strategies for implementing a global economy, banking on the fact that we are all about process over results. Today is our grand finale, and we have our own papi in the house, Dr. Casey. But before we start today's event, I would like us to have a call on our Decemp anthem. Dr. K, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chubuza. I'll just quickly play now, as we know, this is our tradition for every meeting, that we start with our anthem.
But is a great family of trust, love, and excellence, of oneness, togetherness, in all that we do. We aim to achieve great success through process when I learn to make our works much more better. Yes, process over results. Empires, resourceful people who support each other, knowing that till we all win, we are working progress. Yes, we will achieve great success. That's why Kelechi, who founded this noble group, Lord, please make us all winners.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was an amazing section for our anthem by Dr. Casey. So without further ado, we're going to introduce our mentor, Dr. Kelechi Onwukamike, who is going to take us onto this section. But before that, I would like to read his profile. So I would, well, we all know who our mentor is, but I would like to give you a rundown, a little rundown of his profile. So Dr. Casey is a double master's and double PhD holder from the Erasmus Mundus Functional Advanced Mechanical Material Engineer and Maria Curie PhD scholarship. He graduated in 2019 his PhD project.
Chibuzo, we cannot hear you.
Since then, he has been extremely passionate about helping Nigerian and international scholars. In 2019, in 2020, and in 2021. Can you hear me now, though?
Yeah.
Okay, I think my network is hanging.
It's breaking a lot.
Doc, can you hear me now?
Yes. Maybe others can audio.
Wow.
That helps to reduce the bandwidth need on your end.
Okay, but is it still breaking now?
I think it's better.
Okay, as I was trying to describe our speaker for today, who is our mentor, Dr. Casey. He is a double master's and double PhD holder. He got his master's degree from Erasmus Mundus Functional Advanced Material Engineer for a 2 years master's, and then his PhD using the Maria Curie scholarship. He has he's currently working as a research scientist in Procter & Gamble, Germany, where he is interested in conversion of cellulosic materials into reusable products. Dr. Casey is the founder of dekemp platform, which is Dr. Casey's mentorship platform, which we are celebrating our 2 years today. In 2021 alone, over 30 of his mentees have garnered international scholarships. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation and with a clapping ovation and with a digital clapping ovation, please help me welcome Dr. Casey, Dr. Kelechukwu Okamike for his presentation. Doc, you're welcome. Good evening, and we all are happy to have you here tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chibuzo. Thank you to everyone. It's always a pleasure sharing this stage with you all. 7 day. It's been a long week, but I'm sure we have all got value. So let me know if you got value in the chat for the past 7 days. What did you get? Okay, so I'm going to share now my screen again in a moment. So what did you get? What value did you get? What is the take-home message? Okay, I see that a lot of you got values. That's good. I'm going to share my screen now to give you a rundown of how the week has been and how we should move forward as we close this wonderful second year celebration that we have had so far. Okay, I hope you can all see my screen. So it's been a wonderful week, I must say, and it wouldn't be possible without each and every campite. We created so much content, and you cannot imagine how much time that would take. So I want to start by saying kudos to everyone in the team that have participated, be it in the monologue team, in my dekemp R2 story, be it in the outreach, be it in creating the different content for our various social media pages. So there is really no dekemp without you guys. And I want to really say that I'm very fortunate to be the first campite and be someone that I can always look back and appreciate what we are building together. So first, I say thank you to all of you. As you know, this is the agenda. Just to give you a rundown of how it has been so far. We started on the 26th of July, being day one. We had the opening ceremony where I tried to talk you through why it came in the first place. We had the launch of our various social media platforms. We had monologues that were introduced on Faith and Hope. We also had the launch of our dekemp branded t-shirt. Like you see, I'm wearing mine. I can see, so I'm wearing my own dekemp. I happen to be the only one that has 3 different variants of the dekemp t-shirt. So I really want to appreciate you guys for this gift. And then we also had the second day when we had Engineer Solomon Okonwu, who took us through setting up for growth. And we also unveiled him as our patron, and we were very fortunate and thankful for his wonderful talk. So on day 3, we had a scholarship panel discussion with about 8 current campite scholars on the panel with 2 moderators, Oge and Chibuzo. We also shared more monologues, and on day 4, we had Mr. Victor Ogunmola, who talked to us on how to leverage on networking for professional advancement. On day 5, we had Dr. Michael Taiwo, who talked to us on how to develop sustainable processes. And yesterday, we had Engineer Judy George, who talked to us about strategies to consolidate on past successes for future pursuits. So it's been amazing, I must say. When we came up with this agenda, it looked impossible. It looked like we would not be able to manage it within the time that we had, but within 3 weeks, we were able to create all the content we needed. And we're fortunate to get the support of these wonderful people as our guest speakers, and they have delivered amazing talks. So for all those that have registered, you will be getting all the links to the various talks that we have had this week, and also most likely the presentation. So make sure you registered, because only those that registered will be able to get these resources. But I also want to use the time to appreciate our guest speakers. They have been fantastic. Just to also give you an overview of what has happened during the week, some of the contents that we have worked on, or some of the activities that we have carried out during this week that might have not been so obvious. The first is about the outreach. So we had various campites in different locations going out to secondary schools on one hand, or to orphanages on others, to kind of spread that message of hope, to try to help to encourage these younger ones, so that we can be able to help position and give them some of the informations that we only got to know even after graduating. So the earlier we can get them, the earlier we can be able to build a very strong foundation that it's very necessary, right? To make sure that once they are getting even into the university, they already have a very strong focus point, and they can already see what is possible based on their academic performance on one hand, but also on another hand, how they can build up on other soft skills that are relevant for life after the university or after graduate schools. So we had one of the outreach in Ekiti. You can see the pictures there. Big thanks to Olayemi. And we also had Emmanuel Ono in Aba, that he went also for his outreach. You can see how many people were, how many students he impacted. So we want to say really, really thank you. This is what I call exemplifying the core values of dekemp, which is selflessness. It's not about how convenient or how comfortable it is, but going out of your way to make sure that you give somebody something to be hopeful for. I think there is no bigger way to attain self-fulfillment than when you help other people to achieve their own goals. We also had the outreach in Abakaliki in Ebonyi State from Ali Choma and Chidumebi. So you can see the pictures here. I have a video that I'm going to play as part of their event. So I would just do that right away. I need to stop sharing, and I want to play a video from the outreach in Ebonyi State. Hope you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Okay, very good. So let's watch the video from the Ebonyi outreach.
They said you wouldn't make it so far, and ever since they said it, it's been hard. But never mind the night you had to cry, 'cause you had never let it go inside. You worked real hard and you know exactly what you want and need. So believe, and you can never give up. You can reach your goals. Just talk to your soul and say, I can. I know my dreams are real. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that was from the team in Ebonyi State. Really, really fascinating. I'm going to continue with my presentation. Okay, so we also had the outreach at Enugu, and you can see the Enugu team there. Wonderful guys, really, really nicely done. You can also see the number of students that were part of this outreach. If there is something that I always want to reemphasize as part of the core values of dekemp, again, it's selflessness. It has nothing to do with comfort. It's really people that are consciously making what they have to do, taking steps that they have to take to make the world better, starting with themselves. So thank you to you guys. You can also see the outreach in Lagos. They went to an orphanage. Wonderful team, so much energy. I do have a video from them.
Lagos edition.
Till we all win, we are all work in progress. Yay! Process over result.
Yeah.
Could you hear that? Did you hear the sound from the Lagos team? Okay. Let me see the chat. Okay.
Lagos edition.
Outside of the outreach, we also had some of the campers that shared their dekemp stories. I'm sure some of you have already read them, and it's quite interesting to see how we have each grown by being part of this platform, not just about me per se, but how the environment itself is encouraging people to find their steps and also get the right push and motivation to keep striving, to keep improving themselves. Remember, it's not a competition. The only competition you are is the competition of who you were yesterday. So every step you are taking should be steps that helps you to grow beyond what you are today. So really nicely done. I really appreciate those that came forward to share their stories. This platform is still open. So for others that still want to share their story, please, you can still reach out to Precious Oji, and she would be able to get your stories and do the revision and hand it over to our graphic support that would prepare this template for you. So this offer is still open, but thank you to these 11 fantastic campites that came forward to share their stories and use it as a way of encouraging others. So thank you very much. Now we are at the point of the dekemp at 2 challenge. So you remember at the beginning of this celebration, we have decided that we are going to be able to give people the chance to be part of our family. So basically, they would be able to go through the 30 days challenge without paying upfront the commitment fee that is needed as part of this registration. The goal was to get 10 people, and we have seen that mostly people have submitted their input on LinkedIn and Facebook. There are a couple that submitted on Instagram, but I think we are going to come back to the Instagram part later. So I want to use this opportunity to say big thanks to Enid from the Facebook team or the Facebook lead, and also to Michael from the LinkedIn and his team for going through all these submissions. You can see here what we had as the selection criteria. So basically going through what is the definition of process over results and what it means to them personally. How can they use their personal story to connect to this? And how are they applying this principle to their life? And how has this lesson so far helped them in their journey? So first, we have from the LinkedIn team, you can see there the 5 names that are selected. So you have Jessica Melumu Adejo, Emmanuel Patrick, you have Owen Chibueze, sorry, and then you have Eunice Ayeni and Oluchi Anuro that have been selected from the LinkedIn team. And from the Facebook team, you have those that submitted on Facebook, you have Joy Annie, you have Jen Claude, you have Chukwebuka Victor, you have Aliyu Ibrahim, you have Ebube Mori. You also have some people on the reserve list. And so what I'm going to do is that, again, since at the end of the day, like I would say that for those that have been selected and those that have been placed on the reserve list, that they did something fantastic that should even put them on the list. On LinkedIn, I think we had about 30 plus people that submitted. On Facebook, it was about 17 to 20. So means it was quite a competition for this for the team to go through and make this selection. So the selection doesn't rule out these other people that participated that they cannot be part of our group. Of course, we would always find ways to explore that we can accommodate as much people as possible. What I just want them to also remember is that in the dekemp family, the goal is always that you fight to keep your place. Because I have a cap number of 245, I don't see the possibility that that number would exceed 245 at least in the end of this year. So the only way we are going to get new people is when people that are not active on the group are removed, which is going to happen a lot, right? So means even when you come into the group, you have to make sure that you keep your place. Because like I said, the only payment you are making to be part of this group is your consistency and your activity. So it is how much you want to be in the group that will determine whether you would stay there or not. So what we would not be able to manage is people that join for the sake of one of those WhatsApp groups that they are part of, because I can guarantee you it wouldn't be so long for you to be overwhelmed with how much information are being shared, and then you stop being active because you feel there is so much information. And of course, it would simply means that you would soon be removed from the group. And if you're removed, you have to go through the 30 days challenge again. So what I'm going to offer, the Instagram team, I see that there are about 7 names that submitted. The team is still going to make their selection, but we'll be able to select 2 more people from the Instagram team, making a total of 12. But what I'm going to do, I see that at least you can see that on the reserve list here, you have Chukwebuka Victor, but he was selected from the Facebook group. So just to show you that some people have really shown that strong willingness that they want to be part of what we are doing. I remember at least seeing, I think, Chitachi Ezenwa on almost all the sessions that we have had. So there is no way that I would leave such a person, I would not give such a person the chance to be on the group. So to cut the long story short, I would be giving like the option, or rather I would give go out of my way to accommodate everybody that is on this list. So both those that have been selected and those that have been reserved, you would be approached to give you the information you need to register for the next edition of the 30 days challenge. And remember, it is by going through this 30 days challenge that you validate that you can actually be part of the group, right? So I want to say super congratulations to you guys. I see here that there are basically, I would say 5 plus 4, 9 plus 4, 13 plus 2. So there are at least 15 unique names on this list that would be able to go through the 30 days challenge. So super congrats. So guys, give them a round of applause for being able to be selected from this 30 days challenge. So super congrats to all of you. Then another important information that I wanted to share. As you saw, I shared, we had all these wonderful campites going to different secondary schools. And the question that came was, how are we going to, because we don't just want to motivate or inspire these young students and leave them without any form of contact or just disappear into the air. So what we are going to do is that for all the different schools that we have visited and for other schools that we would want to visit in the future, we would be setting the dekemp at school clubs, okay? So we are going to have dekemp clubs at the level of these secondary schools. And the goal of these clubs is that, or the role of this club is that we would be able to through the informations we have, channel them to the people that are managing the clubs at the school levels. Like you have different social clubs that are in the school. So we will talk to these schools and get the understanding, but we want to have a dekemp presence in some of these schools that have been selected. And through this presence, we have campers that will be visiting. And of course, whenever I'm in Nigeria and I have a chance, I will personally visit these schools. So the goal there is that we are really, really interested to make a difference. And we see the potential of these young people. We want to be there to give them the guidance they need. We want to be there to give them the visibility that they need. We want to be there to give them the right, I would say, not just the motivation, but the right support that they need to not just go into the university without being informed, but to go there with so much information, which is what we have at our disposal. So I want to say I have been inspired by the work that you guys have done on all the different outreach. And I feel that with this approach, we would be able to consolidate on what we want to achieve. So super congrats. I'm going to get back to the teams and we are going to try to set up the right systems to make sure that we have a follow-up on these students. So thank you very much. Before rounding up, I wanted to use the time to give room. I know that many of you have so many things that you want to say, so I don't want us to round up this celebration without hearing from one or two of you what your learnings have been throughout this week. What do you think we could do differently? What do you think we did very well? And of course, what is the take-home message for you? So for those that would want to share what have been their learnings, what they have liked most, don't like, please, this is the time for you to share, okay? And I'll ask Chibuzo to be able to manage that. Chibuzo, are you still in the call?
Yes, Doc, I'm in the call.
Yes. So please ask people to share their experience from this our 1 week celebration. So please manage that. So if you want to share anything, please
Yes,
just raise your hand.
just raise your hand so we can unmute you. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Doc.
Choose, or maybe you can even start since you don't need to unmute yourself.
Okay, hello everybody. Good evening. This is Chibuzo once more. This is Chibuzo, the second campite. Please don't forget that. God bless you all. So, I've learned a whole lot of things from today, this particular anniversary celebration. One of the things I would say is my take home is that talk does not build a house, right? If you want to do anything, go ahead and do it. Do it because not because of the results you're about to get, but because of what you will learn by following through the process. And it kind of facilitates our motto in the camp, which is process over result. So it doesn't matter how long
Chibuzo, we cannot hear you. Chibuzo, we cannot hear you. So
or the how you go to achieve a particular goal, it is not always about Jesus.
Chibuzo, we cannot. No, we can. I would say that mute. Let me hand over to somebody else to give their feedback. Then we can come back to you later. I've just dropped the link for the attendance. Please make sure you fill today's attendance because it will be very important. So who else wants to share something? Annie, do you want to go next? Enid, leave the chat box. Come and tell me what you learned this week. I've asked you to unmute. While Enid is getting ready, who else has something to share? I've asked you to unmute. Enid, you should be able to unmute. Chibuzo, could you unmute Enid? I see that I do not see that option on my own end.
Hello, Annie. I just asked you to unmute right now.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Casey, our first campite, our host and our founder, and our wonderful mentor. Good evening to every campite and invited participants. I trust you're all having a great evening, and I hope you all had a beautiful weekend. The experience for the dekemp very interesting. Though I didn't know how I was able to attend the session because I was afraid that I will not, the time constraint, but I'm glad I was able to pull through. Again, all the sessions have been amazing. I would always say Dr. Casey really have eyes for this speakers. He knows who and who to bring in and who to talk, who and who to dissect a certain topic. So I also enjoyed the session from Engineer Judith yesterday. Funny enough, the only female who was a guest speaker. So anyway, I'm not being partial, but I enjoyed her session. One of the things I enjoyed was the matter of putting in the work. It's one thing to have intentions. It's one thing to talk about what you want to do, but are you putting in the work? And again, I really enjoyed the Chinese proverb she shared because it really stuck to me. And in fact, it's going to become one of my mantras from now on, talk the local Christ. And it's true. That you have rice that you want to eat, you're hungry. Talking about how hungry you are or how sweet the rice is going to be doesn't actually, do anything. So relating that to experience is about process. You may know how a certain process is going to go through, but if you're not willing to go through it, forget it, you're not going to be getting any results. I also enjoyed, moderating the session of Mr. Victor Gumola. Mr. Victor is the founder of iScholar. I enjoyed his sharing of his experience about process over result, especially about his rejection stories. You see, one thing I enjoyed was that the matter of rejection is definitely going to come. Everybody has passed through one stage of rejection, but that's not what defines you. Rejection, first of all, does not define you. It does not mean you're not good enough. And many times, rejection can be some kind of redirection, can redirect you to where you should go to. So the most important thing is for you to be committed to your vision. What's your why? Why did you start it? Why did you start, sorry? So all these are very important. So it should be the motivation going on, and you being willing to go through any process that would give you a desired outcome. So from his story, I saw that I really enjoyed his story of rejection. I saw that after some time, I think after some time, he got his own results, he got his desired outcome, and things actually became better. But the thing is that many times when it comes to the story of success, what people see is, the hype, they see the limelight, they don't actually see the pains, the failures, the consistency, the hard work, the sleepless nights, and all that. So all these things actually, are processes you definitely have to go through. You have to build consistency. Sometimes you have to go through pains. Sometimes you have to go through sleepless nights. Sometimes failure. Sometimes rejection. But in all, one thing is that there's a motivation for starting whatever journey you want to start, and having the right process. Definitely, you're going to get the required results. Thank you, everyone, for listening to my little TED talk. Do have a
Thank you, Enid. I appreciate that. Actually, a TED talk. I told you my son start sharing the screen, so thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to Chibuzo unmute Chinyere. I see she has her hands up. Hello, Chinyere, you're up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I want to first of all appreciate Doc for the opportunity, getting us on board. I think this 1 week has really been a wonderful experience for me as a person. It opened my eyes to a lot of things. It opened my eyes to how to being more dogged on the application process, because at the end of the day, all we just need is one yes, which would open doors to other opportunity. So I learned in this that it is always process over results. You have to keep going till you get to the destination you're looking out for. So it was a wonderful opportunity to start the section. I moderated the section the first day. Doc shared why dekemp. So it dawned on me that he has stayed focused on what he had passion for, unlike me, who has an NGO, and I partially abandoned it for a while. So when Doc was talking about why dekemp, it really it took me back to why I started the foundation in the first place. And it made me understand that if I can always remember the why, it will keep me focused on where I'm going to. So in every situation or in every journey we plan to embark on, be it this scholarship and every sphere of life, I told people the first day I was anchoring the section that Doc is not only going to mentor you in terms of scholarship. This is going to be a story I'm going to tell on a different day, but I believe that he is one person who tries to get close to everybody. If you get on board, I know I'm talking to both those who are in the platform and both those who are not in the platform, but specifically for those who are not yet in the platform, if you get the opportunity to be on the platform, don't joke with it. Don't joke with it. See every opportunity that comes from that group as something you would always cherish and love. And if you want to grow, you will grow with knowing Doc. And then if you don't want to grow, he will do you the favor of removing you from the group. So he He is, I would say, dynamic. He can just wake up today and say, we are removing people from the group, and here you are out of the group. So those days where we see remove, everybody is always scared, even myself, that
Junior, we couldn't get you. I think you stopped talking. Chibuzo, Chinyere is muted. Chibuzo is struggling with his network. Could you transfer the host to me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I don't even know. So I was trying to say that on those days when you try removing people from the group, it's always a thing of fear for me myself, because so this is to everybody who wants to be on the platform. If you get the opportunity to be in the KEM platform, let it be something you would cherish and let it be something you would appreciate. It's always, again, it's always process over results. I was trying to follow up on some of the comments people dropped on Instagram, and I think Doc has not talked about those who qualified on Instagram, but somebody said something very important I would just want to use to conclude. He was talking about taking a course on Google, and he was like, he just tried to Google and get the whole result and pass. So he was more after the certificate, you know. And I believe that this 1 week journey has taught us that it is not the result we should look out for. It is the process. It is the process that leads to that result that would mold you when you finally get there. So he said, like many of us in the university, we get our certificates. Sometimes we just cram, and at the end of the day, we dish out these things and it ends there. So that should not be our way of life. We should actually learn through the process, then get the result, not the result before the process. Thank you so much, Doc.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Chinyere. I think what you said is very true. I'm very, very spontaneous. Sometimes I'm even scared of how spontaneous I am myself. So yes, I could get up the next morning and feel that a lot of people have not been active and we should screen. And I think the next removal that would happen on the group would have the number in that group. So that should happen anytime soon. I've said it over and over. The cheapest thing, the cheapest value, if you call it value, conversion, entity, whatever, the cheapest value is money, okay? The cheapest thing you can ask from someone is money. Money is the cheapest thing you can pay to get what you need, okay? The most expensive is information. So information is much more expensive than any amount of money. So it's important for us to be aware of why we are in the group in the first place. That's why we consciously didn't put it as a scholarship platform. It's a mentorship platform. That's not the same. Mentorship includes scholarship and others, right? So it's not just exclusive to scholarship alone. So I imagine that if I'm putting a lot of effort, basically almost a full-time job on this mentorship platform, that anybody that has to be here has to justify my time, right? So that is why it's nobody's indispensable. I hope, including me, of course. So we would always need to put in mind what dekemp is out for, and that it's bigger than any of us individually. So if you want to be in the group, you have to justify that you want to be in the group. There is no other way around it. Chubuzo, the next person is God's Power. Please unmute God's Power. Oh, I can do that now. So God's Power, I've asked you to unmute. And please, in 2 minutes, so that I can also allow as much people that want to share about this celebration to have the time. So in 2 minutes, tell us.
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much. My name is God's Power, and it's a pleasure to be here. I want to appreciate Dr. Casey for the opportunity for us to be among this great group. I'm actually one of the pre-Kempites, one of those that are almost rounding up. I want to. It's just been a lovely time so far. So I just want to tell those that are coming up that they should just expect to have the ride of their life during the 30 days challenge. I can remember when I started, it was very hard. And then I read the first day. And then on the second day, after reading the second day's book and summarizing, I just had to delete my Facebook straight away because I just thought it was just taking all my time. So that's the kind of mind surgery you'll be having in the next 30 days. It has just been SS mind surgery on all aspects of my life from many things. So I just want to tell you guys that you should just expect to have the ride of your life. And as you are coming, be serious and your life will definitely be changed. I just want to also appreciate Doctor for the celebration. So far, it has just been marvelous. The person's presentation that really shook my core was Dr. Taiwo's presentation. When he talked about many things, I learned a lot from him because he came from a humble background. His determination to make it was too much. Like, he did not let his poor background be an excuse to success or so climbing to that height, but he was consistent. You understand? He like his process, like it was said that he used to go to a library to go and read, despite being poor. After 1800, he goes to the library to read. So he began his process, you understand? And later on, because his process was right, the result was right. So because of time, I just want to appreciate Dr. Casey and the whole Kempite group. I hope to join you guys soon, and I'm really, really excited. Thank you.
Thank you very much, God's Power. Just one comment about the 30 days challenge. So many people that have approached me because they are interested in getting a scholarship are always very shocked when I talk about them going through this 30 days challenge or reading. I always say that the reason is because the first place you win is in your mind. And if you listen to all the speakers, they talked about that same thing. You cannot win beyond what you believe. Okay, if you win beyond what you believe, you would be surprised where you are, and you cannot perform in a surprise state. It's just like taking you and putting you in front of a car, and you don't know how to drive. And for some reason, you just happen to be on the road, but you know for sure that you cannot drive. You know that you are just heading for a disaster, right? So it's very important for us to be clear that winning is a mindset. Finish. You win in your mind. Now, from the mind, when you have told yourself, this is not the environment I want to be in, this is not the background I want my kids to have, this is not the life I want. I mean, I will be the last person to experience what I've experienced. From that point, every other thing you are doing, it consolidates your why. As long as you do not have a why, you will just be carried along with everything that happens. They are making noise here, you are part of the noise. They are doing something here, you are part of it. So you are just too busy but not making any difference. You are not making any difference year in, year out, not because you are not busy, but because you are not busy towards something that should add up to that future that you want to have. Okay, so you first win in your mind. When you win in your mind, you are now very clear that it's only a matter of time. So I always talk about direction over speed. It's not how fast you are going. I remember when I was much younger, if I'm going somewhere with my mom, or at least there was one time I was going somewhere with her, and I felt she was just too slow for my speed. You know, as a kid, she was just taking her time, and I decided to start running. And what she told me then was in Igbo, like, Iwajebe, like, where do you know you are running to? I don't know where we were going, but I could be faster than her. So will I ever get there? No. Where am I running to? So I had to stop and move along with her speed. So it's important for us to calm down. Like, don't feel you need to be too fast because too many people are doing something, you have to be doing something. No, sit back, paint your life. What do you want to do? What should you be doing towards it? When people are celebrating around you, you celebrate with them because you know that it's possible, but you will not celebrate with them, or you would not want to celebrate with them because you ask yourself, I'm not a big fan of people that say, God, when? I don't like that statement. It's not a matter of God, when. Each person has his own destiny. The question is always more like, if you are late, what are you not doing? That's always the question. So this 30 days challenge is really out to help you get the right mindset. With the right mindset, you can achieve anything because your mind, remember, your mind is going to be in control of what you do and what you don't do. Should you send that application or not? Or you have applied many times, why should you apply again? It is in your mind, right? So your mindset needs to be all right. And that is why you might see somebody that lives in the most deprived environment. If you might even go back to, let's say, Dr. Taiwo, for example. If you should go to his childhood, check those people that he grew up with. I don't know, but I would not be so surprised that not many of them went to the extent that he went. And it's not because he had better opportunities than the other people. The difference was what he decided to pay his focus on. Should he decide and step down to accept the reality around him, or should he aim for something that cannot be explained because he cannot define it? Or does he keep his mind open that it is possible if only I can dream it? So that is why mindset resetting is very, very important, okay? And when people talk about process over result, it's not just because we want to talk. It is something we believe as a foundation to establish a sustainable future, not a luck, not the one that you win today and that is the end. You will never be able to win anymore because it was a chance. So chances do not create sustainable processes. Okay, I'm just taking the hands as they appear on my list. So I see now it is Ademola. Ademola, I've asked you to unmute. Please, 2 minutes.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Like on the screen, my name is Ademola. So my major key learnings, I would like to match them together. First of all, the caliber of speaker that was brought to speak to us. If you look at Mr. Victor Ogumola, Dr. Michael Taiwo, you see these are people that operate based on, shall I say, their integrity is top notch. If you look at the kind of thing they do, like Mr. Ogumola is an ISI, just like the CEO of ISI, is like, so he created ISI just to impact people. The same thing with Dr. Taiwo. He has empty scholarship for people. So I believe they are all here to encourage us to do great in life. So as for Mr. Ogumola, during his session, what I really learned from him was the networking skills. So he said something about when you want to network or when you want to connect with someone, it's not really about you just connecting with that person to gain, yes, to gain value from that person, but what are you bringing to the table? Which I believe is key. You can't just connect with, for instance, an employer, maybe asking him that, yes, I want to work for you, this, that, and you don't have any skills to offer. I don't believe such person will give you an audience. So another key learning I learned from not just the second anniversary, but I learned from Dr. Casey, what it means by process over results. Like Dr. Casey will always be like, you didn't get a scholarship or you didn't get this job. So what can you analyze what makes you not to get this job? So that when this thing comes up again, you will be able to know where you have defaulted and you will know where you will need to improve on, which that is one thing that makes me like Doctor. Doctor is not really concerned about your win. Getting a scholarship is not really the major concern for Doc. It doesn't move in. But the processes, what process did you follow to get this? And how can you, if you're able to achieve such, how can you use that to impact other people? So I've met so many mentors before from LinkedIn and other places, but like the day I met Doctor and I interacted with him, and we have gone a long way. So, and I've really gained a lot from him, more especially this year. I would like to advise anybody coming into campaign. See, let me tell you, there is no any country in this world, I'm sorry to say this, Doc, that you're thinking of maybe you're applying job or scholarship and you want to connect with someone. Doc is always there. You always ask someone. Like, I was so surprised when I applied some countries I couldn't even imagine, some programs that I thought, am I even like the only set of people from Nigeria applying? I know there might have been other people that have applied, but I've not met them before. But Doc always connect me with someone like me, so person. And these people are like, you can't imagine the kind of people you meet. They are top notch. They know their audience very well. So I will encourage everybody coming in. Like, one of the key things you should come with is resilience. Resilience is important. Perseverance, the ability to learn. Don't just come. We don't know everything in life, but we always have ability to impact, no matter how small. And you should always come with the learning mindset. So I think those are just the little things. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ademola. Thank you very much. Just to add up to what you said, I had a very funny experience some time ago. That was in 2019, I think it was March. I was attending this PhD seminar from P&G, which was like some kind of selection criteria that they did at that point. And I met this guy, and we were talking. I took a picture and I shared the picture. And when I shared that picture, somebody else commented that I know this guy. I met this guy in one conference, in whether it was in Finland or Switzerland, I don't remember. But she was very surprised that I could also meet this other person. So, and that is the power of networking, right? I know the story that you are talking about and the person that I made you to reach out to. So you need to remember what I said. Maybe for those that have been here long ago, you've remembered that I always say that, and I repeat, none of you are empty. You did not join this platform empty to be filled. You came in with value. Now, sometimes you do not realize those values. And sometimes you feel they are not enough, that they are not worth talking about, or they are not worth celebrating. That's why I'm a big fan of celebrating small wins. People complete a course, they send me the certificate, I celebrate them like they'll be so shocked. Is it only this certificate? No. The process that you went through to complete a course can be applied in other areas. And that is what we talk about, sustainable processes. It's how do you approach things that you do? How do you approach life? So networking is definitely something you do. The people that have become very close with as Kempites have been people that have approached me with what they can offer. Okay, I know what I can offer, but there is a lot of things I cannot do. All the graphics, the setting up of this meeting, all the contents, these are done from this group. All the awards, they are created from this group. The website is created from this group. So I have immense talents that are in this group. So none of you are empty. So the advice I want to give is ask yourself, what can I bring to the table? Reach out to me and say, Doc, see my competence, see what I can do. How can I use that in the group? Can you give me audience so that I can share? And that's where we are going to have like the dekemp webinar series, where people would always come and share what they know as a way of upskilling other people. So definitely what you need to come with something, and all of you have something to offer. The next person, Ademola, you can lower your hand, is Chinedu Nevo. Chinedu, I've asked you to unmute.
Okay, good afternoon, Dr. Casey, and good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Actually, I am not a Kempite, I'm a participant because I got the invite. I got the email from Chibuzo, and I just joined today because I am actually a very big fan of the camp. Dr. Casey, I've been following you for some time now. I remember when we had our first discussion on LinkedIn, and so I was asking you that I want to join your group, but I was processing my scholarship then, and yeah, you were quite nice. So you allowed me to join the Dr. Casey Diaspora Group and all that. And since then, I've been following you. And one beautiful thing I like, yes, I read all your messages on LinkedIn, every one of them. One thing I like so much about you is your emphasis on process over result. Yeah, because I've experienced it firsthand, and I find out that, you know, a lot of young people, they apply for something and they don't get it immediately. Then they discard everything they did, you know, in the course of applying for that thing. And I think it's quite wrong, because any success is a cumulative of whatever failures you've had in the past. So if you keep accumulating the lessons from the failures, eventually, as you keep applying all these accumulated learnings, success will come in the future. Another thing I also want to advise, because Dr. Casey has been a very selfless person to the best of my knowledge. So, and growing up, I've got to value what it means to be a mentor, to give your time to people. It is not easy at all. Time is very scarce. You know, people may not understand. Yes, so for people who are joining newly, I think one of the things I would tell them is to value this time. You don't get a lot of mentors who are invested in you to the extent that Dr. Casey is doing these things. So you just have to learn, put in the work, sacrifice, make the time that he's putting in to be worth it. And yes, till we all win, we are all work in progress. And thank you so much, Dr. Casey, for all you are doing. And I'm a very big fan. I'm in the Diaspora Group, and I hope that one day we will all win. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. I really appreciate that, your kind words. I couldn't have said it any better. I would move to Joy. Joy, you have been asked to unmute. Those that have spoken, please put down your hands so that I know those that I still have to unmute. Hello, Joy, please go ahead.
Can you guys hear me? Good evening. No.
Yes, Joy, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to use this medium to say thank you to everyone that participated in our second anniversary. Thank you, Dr. Casey, for this platform. I really learned a lot, even though I missed the first day, I guess, yes. I really learned a lot, but I was actively following the WhatsApp group chat and everything. You know, when I had to use our dekemp as my DP on my WhatsApp, I got lots of questions. What is dekemp? What is the meaning of dekemp? I started explaining and explaining. When I even uploaded our anthem on my WhatsApp, someone was like, I know this person, one of the person in our WhatsApp anthem, that the person is going to US. I was like, yes, that's my person. That's our family. It was like, do you know the person? I said, no, but we are family. We belong to the same family. And if it's going to US, it's a great win for us. So I've always been happy seeing people commenting, sharing their testimony. And I was like, I've never seen any testimony bigger than this. There is no week we enter the camp WhatsApp group that you won't see someone saying congratulations. Every week is a win for all of us. I want to use the opportunity to say thank you to Dr. Casey. It hasn't been easy. Though most of us are still trying to fight for the scholarship, but most of us are winning in other areas. It hasn't been easy, but God has been with us. I learned a lot from Mr. Victor, Dr. Michael, Engineer Judith, and Mr. Solomon. You know, one of the speakers said that mentorship is partnership. Doc, seriously, I must say that you are doing a good job. It takes passion to put this group together because we are from different backgrounds. We have different characters and different attributes, but you've been taking care of us like your children, you know. When one of us goes the wrong way, you try to bring everybody together and encourage us. It takes passion to do this, Doc, and we are really grateful. I am grateful in particular. You know, my greatest fear is I don't want to leave this group. I don't want to do anything that will make me leave this group. Like, I'm so scared of it, like I'm losing something. And I'm losing something. I so protect this group. In fact, on my WhatsApp, this group is pinned on my WhatsApp. I don't joke with it. It's always there. Any notification, I try to check it every day before sleeping. Doc, I really appreciate. And even though I've not gotten a scholarship yet, but what I've learned from this group is a lot. I've learned a lot, how to write SOP, how to do a great CV. In fact, now I do CV for people. My brother gave me a CV to write for him. People call me, Joy, do my CV. I'm like, okay, yes, this is the product of dekemp. I'm really, really happy, Doc, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. And to all Kempites, I know what everybody had to put in. Even during our Lagos outreach, I know what everybody had to put in. It's not easy, but I really appreciate us all. We've not yet seen ourselves, but we've worked together as if we are from one family. It's not easy. I appreciate you, Doc. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate your mentorship, not just in academic wise, but all areas, Doc. You've really blessed my life. And I really appreciate. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Kempites. And to the upcoming Kempites or people that wish to be part of us, you are all welcome. And I pray that together we will achieve greatness, because that's what we aim for. And I'm sure that we will do great in future. And like our engineer Judith said, no matter what we do in this life, learn to give back to the society. Doc, thank you for giving back, because we're all benefiting from it. And we pray that we'll also learn from your own step to give back to in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joy. But I think you're already giving back, right? By helping people to review their CV. I think that's already giving back. I would say that any Kempite that is on this group, a true Kempite at heart, is already defined already from the word go as someone that is selfless. And this is what you could already see during the outreach. And the outreach that was done in Ekiti, and I think Oleyemi was not feeling very well, but he still had to push himself to go out for that outreach. I say this all the time. Nothing we do is easy, okay? There is nothing here that is done that is easy. I do not have a full-time job and run a full-time mentorship platform because it's the easiest thing to do, or work 16 hours per day. It's not sustainable in the long run, that's for sure. But it's also something that we need to realize that it's not easy. And so you would also realize, or you might understand, when I get uncomfortable when people give me excuses, right? Because you can have all the excuses you have, but you can choose not to give into excuses. So thank you for your kind words. And I think you give as you receive. You don't wait until you think you have arrived before you start giving. What you know, make sure you share, because in sharing, you know more, okay? So it's an attitude. It's not a function of a face. So there is no face where you say, now I am here, I can start giving. Giving is not doing as much as some people are doing, but it's really, are you listening when somebody comes to you to ask for something? Are you so impatient with the person because you are so busy with your own life, but at the same time, you are asking somebody else for that same kind of information, and you are taking so much time of that person to get what you need, but you are not willing to give somebody else that audience, right? I think we can all come back to that point where we ask the one question: how did I get what I got, right? And what have I done to other people that are looking for what I have gotten, okay? I'm going to go to the next person. Quadri, I've asked you to unmute.
Good evening, great Kempites.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Kelly Chukwu. I don't know if that's right to call you that, but yeah, okay. My mentor. So good evening, sir, and good evening, my fellow Kempites. I am also a Kempite, and so I was part of the batch before the last batch. So yes. I went through the process. It was a rigorous process, and I gained a lot. And one thing I gained was the consistency. I think it was more for the consistency that really helped me, because, well, there were few flops that I couldn't make some of the challenges, but it was the consistency that made and Dr. Casey's benevolence also helped. But in the real sense, it was the week was a very great week. Although it was a bittersweet week for me because I had to bury my other brother, but it was at the end of the day.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much. At the end of the day, I was able to join most of the sessions, and I think it just adds up to the resilience and the kind of diligence that this group has actually created, the kind of diligence this group has impacted in everybody that that forms a member, that joined, that becomes a member of the group. And one of the things I think, even apart from the scholarship tips, I think I've gained some personal progress too. At least I know part of the functions of the group. I'm already studying to become a data analyst. Basically, that is one thing I'm fully focused on. Even apart from the scholarship, that has been something that's really very progressive. And also the GRE group, the family, even most of the people that checked up on me during this week was more of the people that I met through this group. And it just seems to add to the grace and the love the love between people, the family you get to, the family called in the Kempites. I think it just adds up to that name. And I really thank Dr. Casey and everybody that participated in the success of this week. It has been a very, very enlightening week. I have learned in my own little way, and I know I keep on learning. And I really thank everyone, and Dr. Casey, especially who I met on LinkedIn. And I continued asking. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And thank you, everyone, for the opportunity.
Thank you. I'm so sorry
for all win.
So sorry.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I really am. Thank you very much, Dr. Casey. You don't like sir, so thank you.
You remember that part?
Yes, I remember. Thank you.
Okay. I see all the hands are up, and yeah, I should unmute Onua Ball. I am still struggling to learn this name. I will definitely find out how to call it properly. I've asked you to unmute.
Okay. The name is quite hard, so I just tell people unknowns. So
but no, I will learn it.
Okay, no
I
problem.
know they struggle to call my name, but I should be able to call your name.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Casey. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my fellow Kempites. Good evening, participants. Thank you for coming on board and celebrating. This is like our grand finale, so we are celebrating today. So I don't really want to take too much time because there's already a time frame, but I really want to say a big thank you to Dr. Casey. One, you are an exemplary person. Yeah, because a lot of things that you said while I was going through the 30 days challenge are exactly what you do. So that alone is very, very amazing and commendable, because people like, this is what you should do or what you should expect. And you might get there and you will not even see those things. But those things that you always said about process over results, about celebrating small wins and all of that, are exactly what I saw when I now joined the platform. And it has really been a life-changing. It's not a career thing. It's not like a career, maybe you have a career you are pursuing or you are pursuing scholarship. It's a life-changing process for me, because there are a lot of very, very, should I say, bad habits I had, inconsistency, lack of time management, and all of that I'm really, really picking up now. In fact, I now even have my own personal challenges that I do for myself and be like, okay, I want to do this for the next 1 month, consistently dedicate this number of hours. So it has really, really been amazing. And for this 1 week celebration, I learned one thing: the power of people. Because for the number of activities, the input and everything, you can see that if not for the quality of people that actually put in work, it's not possible for Dr. Casey to do all of that. It's not possible. And to even run a platform like this that is very, very tedious and stressful, you will appreciate the input of other people. And that is why Dr. Casey has always stressed the input we as Kempites bring to the team. So if you are part of a team and you guys are organizing, exchanging ideas, you are making the process easier. So that is just a few tips of the highlights of what I really gained. And the sections were really, really very powerful. The speakers were amazing, and all of them are very, very humble people, to be frank, because these are great people making out time to come and to honor the invitation and also share their experiences is just really, really motivating for everyone. So I don't really want to take too much time. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. And just when you talked on humility, I think it's important to emphasize on that. I always say that the more you know you don't know, okay? And the more you would be humbled. If there is anybody that you know that has achieved greatness, humility is at the core, because humility is what and how you position yourself as someone that still has a window to grow, like still have that open space to grow. You have not arrived. What does even arrival mean? What does arrival mean? How did you even define that arrival? Your destination might be you want to become the CEO of the biggest company in the world. What about the world, right? So there is more that you can achieve. And humility, you're very correct. You can see it in all the speakers. Humility to the core. You do not know everything. You cannot be everything. But with people, with the right team, you can be everything. Okay, because you are what I don't have. I am what you have, what you don't have, right? So we can have a partnership, we can collaborate. And that's why we say that a tree doesn't make a forest. So if there is anything that we are doing as dekemp, is because of this dekemp family, full stop. There is absolutely no way. If you want me to do graphic designs for you, I'm sorry, you would not like what you would get, right? I cannot go and get the kind of competence that Dolapo has, or Joseph has, or the kind of competence that Lex have, or the kind of oratory skills that Kelma has, or Enid, or Chubu. So it's a team. And being able to put those teams together and leverage on those teams to achieve a goal is what makes us unique, right? And that is why it's not about what have you achieved versus what have we achieved, and how is this our complete as a family achievement helping us to advance at the level of the family and at the level of individuals, right? So there is nothing I can do here without this team, believe me. If you should give me a different team, maybe I would not know what to do with them. Shekoni, I'm going to take you and one or two more people, and I think we should round up. Shekoni, you can unmute.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine, thank you. Wow. Okay, firstly, I would like to say that thanks to the outreach team for going out of the ways, even when you didn't ask us to contribute, but thinking through that, okay, we should do something different, we should make a change, be different. I feel that is love in its purest form, when you can put yourself in other people's shoes to feel the pain they're feeling, to imagine the kind of life they're living. And just like the Bible says, the giver never lacks. I know that for each and everyone that's contributed the time, the money, whatever way you just contributed to this program, God will reward you with a fully funded scholarship, because I know that that is what everyone wants. And for the reason we are all gathered here, for the reason we are here today, because without Dr. Casey, I don't think there will be anything called the camp. And for the connection we might have made among ourselves, I don't think without him would have been opportune to like meet ourselves, like, and be a family, like a team. So to the founder, say thank you for everything. Thank you for being person. Thank you for being humble. Thank you for being understanding. Thank you for being compassionate, for being patient. Like, you're so tolerable. And these are qualities in which money and level of education can buy. So for all you've done, I pray that God will always favor you. He will always send his angels ahead of you for you to receive favor from himself and mankind. And wherever your children get to, favor will always speak on the behalf. I remember the first time I sent a message to you on LinkedIn, the way I gave you a brief profile, and I was like, so can I join a mentorship group? And you were like, that's the 30-day product. I was like, what is this man saying? Thank God I actually went through that program because it was a really live and transformative program for me. I was able to double task and make sure I meet up the deadline. Like it enabled me to think big and like bankers and think big and always show potential for excellence. And like you say that we don't win as an individual, but we win as a team. I think I've been able to like learn what it takes for you to share the opportunity you have with other people, irrespective of them winning or not, them winning and you not winning. And for this last few days, the different speakers, what I've learned is humbleness at its peak. Like they are so humble, they're achievers, but yet you won't know. They didn't brag about it. And apart from that, I was able to like incorporate most of these things they've talked about, even in my CDS group, even at my workplace, even my relationship with other people. And apart from that, I had to stop doubting my ability because I'm always scared of failing. So I think with that, I restrict myself to do most of the things I'm supposed to do. So these past 3 days, I was able to like go beyond where I think I can go, take up challenge I think I can do, and it's been a success. I wouldn't have been able to like summon up this courage if not for this wonderful program. And to round it up, I would say that I am blessed to be part of this great team. And I just want to make a quick shout out to a friend that turns a sister. Though we went to the same school, for I can't regard her as a friend. I'd rather say she's a sister. Her name is Khadija. Lucky, you know her. She keeps reminding me most times that the meeting has started. You have to, the same way she reminded me during the 30 days productivity journey that have you done your summary? What are you doing? This week has been so busy for me, but because of her, I've been able to not miss anyone of the meeting. So thanks to everyone, to the new incoming campsites. God bless you. I wish and hope that God will grant all our heart desire and make us the blessings the generation can just away. Okay, it's a blessing to us.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Shekoni. Thank you very much. I'm sure if I gave you more time, you would also give a presentation. So I appreciate that. We are only as big as our heart is, right? So the more we are open to, like, not just for the sake of sounding right or politically correct, but the more we are sincerely interested in others, the more our own interest in ourselves would grow, because at the end of the day, you cannot give what you don't have. So the question is more on how much are you willing to give? Because the more you give, that's the more you would receive. It's a very simple principle, but that is 100% correct, okay? So I'm going to go to Lorena and then Kafayat, and I think that will be all. So Lorena, you can unmute. Lorena, you can unmute.
Good evening, Doc.
Hello, how are you? It's like you're in a party.
I'm fine.
It's so noisy.
Yeah, I'm at the redemption camp actually for the minister's conference.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I can hear you. Hello, Lorena. Maybe you can use the chat box. I cannot hear you. So I would ask Fayad to go ahead. Kafayad, I've asked you to.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, so I won't take much of our time. I will just say that Dr. Casey's consistency is so contagious. Like once you are on this platform, then you can't just do without being consistent. You just have to, because he's always there. He's always doing one thing or the other, always coming up with one idea or the other. And also, I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Casey for the 30 days challenge. It was really a great one. He had a nice time, although it came with its own challenge. At first, it was a bit summer, but towards the end, I regained my confidence and I know that I was going to meet up with the challenge. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Kafayat. I mean, this is a celebration, right? So that's why we gave room for everybody. Lorena, the noise in your background is so much. Can I kindly ask that you send a message? Sorry, I'm not giving you the audience. So first, I want to say thank you to everyone. My take-home message is that we are what we want to be. Okay, we are what we want to be. We can be our excuses, or we can be our plans. We can be our excuses, or we can be our plans. So I always tell people that I'm not worried when somebody tells me they have not gotten what they are looking for, but I'm always worried when people don't have a plan towards what they are looking for. If you do not have a plan, every day would come and go, and another day would come. So it's important for us to set a goal. You have a goal. What do you want to do? You clarify that goal. You set up a plan towards achieving that goal. What are the things that I need to be able to achieve this goal? What is the time frame? Who do I need to talk with? What kind of relationship and connections do I need? So it's important for us because sincerely, at the end of the day, scholarship in itself is an end to a means. It's a means to an end. It's not an end of itself, right? Scholarship is not that your future. Scholarship would enable your future, but it's not your future. Your future is not scholarship. It's not like once you get a scholarship, everything will disappear. And for those that have just arrived in the US, in Europe, many of them Kempites. In fact, I'll be receiving one of us tomorrow here in Frankfurt in Germany. So what they would tell you, and I think very soon we would bring some of them to share their experience, is that getting the scholarship itself is the beginning of unimaginable trials, temptations, tribulations, challenges that you can imagine. Is it going through your visa application? Is it traveling? Is it paying for the flight? So there are thousands of other things that would come along. I've seen situations where people would say, in fact, I don't want it anymore, right? So the point here is when you are a product of process, when you are a product of process, not a chance, not a product of luck, you would face these things as they come, knowing that it is not there to destroy you, okay? It is there to build you. Everybody has those experiences, different ways. I've said it in a different platform, how my phone, my laptop, everything was stolen just the same day I was expecting to receive my my scholarship award letter to go to the German embassy. That same day, the night before that day, it was stolen, everything. Right? So there are many challenges that come, but we need to focus on the process. We need to stop being result focused as if that is what counts, right? we need to look at ourselves as an individual and question, why do we think we are late? I mean, sometimes you might feel worried. You might feel like you are not doing enough. The question is, what else should you have been doing? Now, why are you not doing what you should have been doing? You see, you change the question, you change the mind, the thinking. Because what I've realized that our mind does is that our mind is very, very smart to put us in a stage or in a place where we don't have the power to do anything, right? Oh, you want to apply for a scholarship. Oh, I don't have data. Okay, you don't have data. That's going to be the reason. Maybe if somebody gives you 200 MB, you might say, oh, it's not up to 1 gig. Why don't I watch 1 or 2 videos? I would come back to that later and it finishes. Or your mind tells you, but how many people are applying? I have a 2-1. What can a 2-1 do when there are many people that have a first class? Once you give your mind that room, right? Because the spontaneous part of your mind, the part that controls a lot of your instincts, is not the part that does the reasoning, right? So the reasoning part of your brain is a bit more slow, if you may. It's more slow to articulate things, but the spontaneous part of your brain doesn't want to involve a lot of energy to do anything. So that's why we procrastinate, right? And I think somebody during the call really explained it, what procrastination is and what indecision is, right? So it's important for us to look at ourselves as an individual and ask one question: why do I want to do what I want to do? And that why, if it's clear enough, that would be your push to keep you going through all the rejections, the challenges, the experience, the good ones, the bad ones, everything that comes along your journey. You're going to take them as a learning. Some other person would take them as an obstacle. But the question is not what happens to us, but what are we going to do with what happens to us? I always look forward to people that are resilient. And the reason being that if I imagine there are some of you that have been in the group now since the beginning of this group. So imagine even some that have not gotten a scholarship before, but I am very confident when I come to them because they know so much. And that is where the joy comes, that they are so knowledgeable. They are so empowered. I can put them on any stage and they are going to deliver because that's what this process has built them to be, right? And that is more important than feeling of not wishing or thinking that if you do not have a scholarship, then you are not worthy of anything else. So I strongly believe that we are not empty. We all need to be coached. We all need to be mentored. And I'm also mentored by the way that you show how you are receiving what I've done and how you are taking this to translate into actions. Because at the end of the day, the question is not, I might have been the founder of this group, but I would definitely not be the person that sustain it forever, right? So it's going to come from each and every one of us, making sure that we are conscious every day why this group exists in the first place. And how do we want people to see us? And how do we want to translate that perception they have of us to be aligned to what we are actually doing? So I always say that we are what we say we are, right? We say we are people that value process, that is who we are. If we say we are people that value resilient, that is who we are. If we say we are people that celebrate everyone's win as if it's our own personal win, that is exactly who we are. Okay, so I really want to thank you all. It's been a pleasure. 3 weeks ago when we thought about kicking off this celebration, I remember coming back to Edith and saying, I think I'm not going to move this. We have to make it happen. And the team has been fantastic. Everyone on the team has done an amazing job. I am so fortunate to be the person that is leading this group today. I'm so fortunate. I can tell you that a lot of groups do not have this type of caliber of people that are so selfless. When I shared the video of your outreach, people were coming back to me and saying, how did you even get these people to this point, right? So this is who we are, and we are all together as one family with the same purpose of transforming ourselves and then transforming our society. And why not even doing both at the same time? As you're transforming yourself, you are transforming your society. Okay, so take care. I wish you all the best. For those that will still be joining, you're going to have a follow-up. For those that apply through the Instagram, the selection will still be done and you would get notified. So thank you all. Make sure you complete the attendance, especially for Kempites. I'm going to leave now and I wish you all the very best. Take care. Till we all win, we are all always work in progress. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Doc. And ladies and gentlemen, it is on that note that we are coming to the final conclusion of our dekemp at 2 anniversary celebration. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who has been part of this journey right from where we started till now. Thank you so much, everyone, and do have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.